Hello, my name is Cortland Doherty, and the following is my experience with my cultural interview. I believe it is most interesting when you learn something new about someone you thought you already knew well. I met my interviewee working at a restaurant about a year ago. Nastasia befriended me almost immediately, and I could tell from the beginning that she was not raised in America. Of course, her accent was a dead giveaway, but it was not just that. She spoke of traveling and activities she had experienced as a child, things that were uncommon for American children, like going to the club at 14 years old. Nastasia was raised south of the French Riviera. She is 24 years old and moved to America for college after graduating high school and prep school in France. As our interview went on, more differences between American and French life began to unravel. One of the greatest differences between our lives was the focus on family and leisure time in France, as opposed to a major focus on our careers here in America. Nastasia explained that her family valued her childhood and wanted to make sure that she experienced life to the fullest. Unlike America's 40-hour work week, with plenty of room for overtime, work weeks in France were 35 hours, period. The medical world is also something that's rather different in France. She explained that France is more of a socialist nation, and therefore health and medical expenses are free. Yes, you heard me correctly, free. In comparison to America, Nastasia did admit that free healthcare was definitely something that she missed in France. I believe the best question I asked her, though, was what her initial view of Americans were. To be honest, she explained, I hated Americans at first. My initial reaction was on a beach playing volleyball with my girlfriends. Some American teenagers came to play with us, and even though we couldn't speak much English, we could definitely understand this. They said to us, if it weren't for us, you'd be speaking German today, in reference to the German occupation in World War II. I was really hurt by that, and it made my first impression of Americans see them as ignorant and arrogant. I then asked Nastasia when and how her opinions about Americans changed. Apparently, before moving to America permanently, she was a foreign exchange student in Washington, D.C. She explained that that experience completely altered her initial view of Americans. Her host family treated her as if she were part of the family. And personally, I think Nastasia is a strong individual for becoming a foreign exchange student in a place where her first interaction with the people was cruel and judgmental. However, it is a good thing that she gave America another chance because now, not only has she moved here permanently, but she has also become a U.S. citizen just this past year. The main similarities between Nastasia and I stem from the importance of school and family. Even though there are many Americans that place work over all other priorities, Nastasia and I both agree that family and education are far more important. In conclusion, from this interview with Nastasia, the main part that I found interesting was what was considered age-appropriate activities. From a teaching standpoint, even if I were to teach high school students right now, they have not reached the drinking age, nor are they considered adults. In France, however, students are going out as adults by the age of 14, sometimes even younger. This makes me wonder about the learning process and how the students are affected. Nastasia makes the argument that it actually made children more mature at a younger age. However, I still wonder. Overall, I did see similarities between a lot of our beliefs and understandings of family. I think this interview will benefit me as a teacher because now I feel more comfortable and am familiar with what kind of cultural questions would be appropriate to ask my English language learner students.